Hi, I'm Alexis Summerfield. My Clear to the Core process transforms energy and brings positive transformation. The storylines that you are about to see are real. I see images that reveal positive transformation in my clients' lives. What you are about to witness are visions of a seer. A client called me, and we'll call her Susan. And Susan is in Northern California, and she works for a major financial company. And she had hired a new assistant, and we'll call him Gerald. So Susan had concern because she does very well in her business, and a concern that someone else in the office might have some jealousy as they continue to create a wonderful team. Gerald was transitioning from one of the other offices into Susan's office. So Susan wanted that to go very smoothly and not to be any jealousy and just to have tremendous success. So the first thing we did was clear Susan and clear Gerald. And then I also cleared the space. So all of the energy that was there was supportive. Once the clearings were complete, I did the Clear to the Core process and did a storyline and received a vision. And the vision was, there was a basketball game. And the basketball came bouncing onto the court, and then it just stopped. And the whole audience stopped, the clapping stopped suddenly, everything was frozen. And then a young man came out on the court, picked up the ball, and the moment he picked it up, everything started again, and everybody was cheering and everything was moving. He tossed the ball into the basket and he got a three-point shot. Everyone applauded. The whole place broke into a wonderful support for the player, and that was support for Susan and Gerald in their transition. What was so interesting, when Susan got back to her apartment, she was going toward her elevator, and there was a basketball right by the elevator. And she was so surprised to see it and knew that it was a sign from the universe that this transition would be 100%, that everything would be great. She went up to her condo and I asked her, she called me and told me about it, and I said, well, you want to throw that basketball into there's a wastebasket there, you want to throw it in, just to make it a ritual. And so she went back down and the basketball was gone. So she wound up a piece of paper and she set her intentions in the paper and she tossed them, again, a three-point shot, into the trash. And as she did that, it kind of rolled around and went straight in. And now Susan and Gerald are the top team in their business, and there was a complete transition that was very smooth. There was no difficulty at all. Everything is at the highest vibration of success for both of them. That's what this kind of clearing can do, and the energy itself has made a transformation into this high vibration of support. Let it be so. I recently worked with a criminal lawyer who had retired, and his process and his concern was transition after retirement. He decided, with a little help from his wife, to do Clear to the Core. And he did 3 clearings, 3 sets that incorporate 3 clearings each. And so we released things like stuck emotion, a lot of issues from the past that were still hanging around in his field. And we cleared those. And in the clearing process, what I'm doing is assisting the energy that it is a low vibration, because in this situation it's old, and assist it to move to a higher level so that it can now support him in the things that he would like to do. So after the clearings, we were on, I would say, the last clearing of the 3rd set. And there was the storyline. So I saw a black train, a big locomotive. I would say maybe 1940s or 50s. It had a sense of being old. And the train, as it went along, there was a cemetery off to the right. And so the train stopped and people got off of the train. And they were in black garb, old-fashioned clothes, and they had flowers in their hands. And they walked through the graves. and stopping at different ones and offering the flowers. After that process was complete, they got back on the train, and during this whole thing, I am doing mantras and usually using the mantra Om, and I'm making clearing statements of love and compassion, of forgiveness and release. And I am always talking to the energy, and the energy that needs to make a transformation. And on some level, it actually chooses to do that. Energy does not have mind, but it definitely has consciousness. At some point, it makes a transition. And so as the train was moving out, that transition happened, and suddenly it transformed into a multiple of cars, all different colors. And those cars had different people in them that had been on the train, and the cars were integrating with the people back into the modern world, moving into the present and out of the past. It was a magnificent transition for this lawyer, and I asked him to do a ritual, and he did it. And the ritual was to take a flower from the garden and place it on something old that he had. And he mentioned he had a lot of old letterheads, and he just recently had come up with them. And so he lit a candle, put out his letterheads, put a flower on them, and made a statement of, I release the past in order for it to be productive and to be of assistance to me in my future. That as I age, I become healthier and happier, and live a new and exciting life. So that was the end of the storyline and the ritual, and I feel that he's making a major transition as he's planning some trips and traveling. He's moved into a new home, and all good things come of it. Let it be so. Ho! A client called me who had already put money down on a new home, and she was becoming suddenly undecided about whether or not she should move. She was in her 70s and her husband's in his 80s, and it was time to make a life change, and they were having a lot of difficulty making the decision to do it. So they contacted me, and we did some feng shui at a distance on their new condo and on the home they were living in. But again, the decision-making process was just really stuck. So she decided to do my process of clear to the core. So we did 3 clearings and cleared her from present time issues. And then we started a second set, which had to do more with childhood. Well, in childhood, she had tuberculosis, or she was diagnosed, shall I say, with tuberculosis. And in that process, isolated. And the storyline that came from the energy of the clearing was a wheat field. And in the wheat field, the wheat was blowing, and it was a beautiful breeze. And then all of a sudden, pestilence came in, and the harvest was lost. And she related to that a lot, and it took me a while to kind of get the gist of why she did. And then I realized that that was probably a representation of the tuberculosis and how she felt during that process as a 12-year-old being isolated. And that certain parts of her had died, or certain parts of her lost because of that isolation. As we continued on the clear to the core process, we did more clearing, and her big issue was this tremendous indecision. She just couldn't seem to go forward in her life process, and she very much needed to do so. So we did the clearings, and then we did a storyline. And the storyline at the very end of the 3rd set was truly amazing. It showed how the energy in her field had transformed and had moved through the process of reconciliation, and it was now able to support her in making good decisions, which she ultimately did. So the storyline went like this. I saw someone standing at a street corner, and I could see the red, yellow, and green lights. And then as I go through my process of love and compassion, assisting the energy to move forward in its revelation, I saw the street in front of the street light, and then it turned into water, and it was moving. So that was stagnant energy, which would be represented by the cement street, all of a sudden moving and flowing. Well, in the storyline, the person steps into the water and she begins to swim down the river. And there's a tremendous, beautiful movement and flow. Well, she goes over a waterfall. And as she went over the waterfall, beautiful white flowers just bloomed up from the depth and in the spray of the waterfall. And then I could see, because I'm the witness to this, I'm not creating these stories, I observe them. I could see a woman on the other side, and I could just see her back, and she was walking away. And I realized that my client had gotten to the other side, and that she had been able to make a transition and into moving and into making a good decision for herself and with her husband. As I looked up in my symbol book, just get information about water and waterfall, and as I turned the page and looked at the element of water in the book, a rainbow appeared on the page. And I have crystals around, but just at that moment, the whole universe said, "We gotcha." And the rainbow is a symbol of bridge. So she had moved from being undecided to decided. She and her husband have made solid moves now to move into the home. They move in a couple of months. Everything is completely at a very high level for both of them as they make and create a new life at this time in their lives. This was the power of the storyline. This was the power of the energy showing me where it was and how it was willing to transform. And basically, it's the same energy that was the wheat field that became a devastated, ruined harvest. The same exact energy turned into a rainbow with a woman on the other side making good decisions. It's just that the energy had been through clear to the core, and my process of giving energy therapy through love and compassion and forgiveness, and lives change and opportunities abound. Let it be so. So today we have a special guest, and Sara, who's been a client of mine for over 10 years. Sara, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And would you like to say a little about yourself?
My name is Sara Tarani. I'm from California,
Beautiful.
San Jose, and I am in the money world, mortgage industry, and I work with Alexis for giving my business more of a greater vibration, and I am very fortunate to know you. Thank you, Alexis, for having me.
You're welcome, dear. And you're making more money?
An abundance of money.
Sara does very well, and she's very fortunate to be at this major financial corporation, and she has been the top agent since 2014, and certainly we've been working for a long time together, creating more opportunity for her to have new clients, to be of service to her clients, and to continue to live a prosperous life. So Sara called me to talk about a prosperity clearing, and how did you feel about that?
I believe that everything that I come to you for is usually some kind of stuck energy. I feel stuck, and when you clear the energy, or you just kind of empower positive energy to flow, it's always a huge relief. So anytime I work with you, it's just a lot of burden lifted off my shoulders, so I can be more powerful.
And effective.
For
your amazing clients.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Sara called and wanted to do a prosperity clearing. So we did one. It really took 3 clearings in order to release a lot of the blocks that had come into her business. And the reason for her it took more, I would say, is because it's a large corporation. You have many clients. You do sell millions and millions of dollars worth of loans each month. And things continue to flow, and so there was some energy that was not in alignment with her intention of success, and even greater success. So we did 3 clearings, and we released all of the energy that was out of balance. And when we do that, we're not removing energy; we are assisting the energy to move to a higher vibration, so that it can be supportive of the intentions that we've set. And it's a very powerful process. So we've done that several times, and things have continued to move forward for you.
Yes. And the storyline that you did recently was very magical.
Cool. Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
So first we did a ceremony, and I offer corn and tobacco and I live in Sedona, so it's a very powerful place, obviously. And I offer corn and tobacco to the four directions and to Father Sky and Mother Earth, and all for the intention of, in this particular situation, for Sarah's business to continue to be very, very prosperous. And once that's complete, then we do, and the clearings are complete, then we do a storyline. The storyline is a very unusual process. So, and I can only do a storyline when the energy is a little bit clear. There has to be enough negative energy or unsupportive energy that's been released and transformed. And then I interact with the energy in order for it to show me where it is, and very often offer a gift. So we've done quite a few storylines from some of the different processes, and it's always been a special thing for you.
Yes. You feel it. When something in your body is released, you feel lighter. You feel the growth happening. Definitely.
Yeah, you feel the difference.
Yeah,
sure.
you feel the difference.
Wonderful. And many of my clients say that. They really do feel the lightness of it and the release of unsupportive energy or resistance. So we did, well, first, before I did the storyline, when I got up the morning of doing that, I saw a blue jay out on the deck, and he was sitting on the top of a chair, and he looked at me kind of quizzically. I mean, he really did. And out from his mouth, he choked up a golden nugget. And I realized it was a piece of corn. And I was so surprised. I've seen wild birds eat, but never seen them offer a gift, never seen them spew something out. So once I saw it, it's like he looked at me, and then he swallowed it and flew away. I had no idea what to make of that, other than knowing. I knew it was something very, very special, an auspicious sign, but I didn't know what it was. So that same day, then I did the storyline for Sara. And then it all kind of came together. So the storyline, and again, what I'm doing is going into a very light meditation. I'm saying certain words of release, compassion, forgiveness. I'm doing a mantra, Om. And as I do this storyline, I'm connecting with the energy, and I'm asking it to trust me and to show me where it is in relationship to the intention we have. So what I saw was, and I do see these, I saw a train, a large, very large train, kind of like it's in the Swiss Alps, moving through the mountains. And as it got closer to me, then I saw that someone was pushing something off of the train, like baggage or something like that. And I realized when I was doing the storyline that baggage was whatever was preventing the tremendous prosperity that we were asking for and expecting. And so as I do my mantra and make my statements of forgiveness, compassion, release, as I go through that, then I saw the train. And I actually see it coming right toward me, the front of the train. And I did some more mantras and some more statements. And as I did that, the train transformed into a gold mine. And that was powerful. And when this storyline's happen, I feel those shifts. And it's very, very interesting because the energy is actually making a transformation. And then as I continued making my statements of love and forgiveness, the gold mine, then I saw a miner. And he was on a donkey. And then he got off the donkey and he squatted down and he was panning for gold. And then I could see the gold nuggets in the panning, and I knew he had hit the jackpot. Well, that was very exciting, and I know it was a beautiful storyline to share with Sara. And then I realized that it was the blue jay who had been the predecessor of that, and he was sharing what was going to happen, but from a place of the whole universe and the whole cosmos supporting it. And when we have nature come in to offer something like that, it's very, very, it's a very auspicious and a very powerful confirmation. So how's business been?
Magical.
You shared with me a little earlier, it's pretty off the chart.
Right.
You're grossing more for loans in these, let's say this month, last month.
Highest I've ever done. It's a dream come true. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I have dreamed of this kind of success, and I am exceeding what I even could imagine. And thank you for opening that world of limitless. You're not limited at all. So thank you.
Pure magic.
Pure magic. It's all magic.
So thank you for joining us, Sara. And I know that you will continue to have tremendous success and prosperity, and the whole universe and the Blue Jays are all there with you.
Thank you so much, Alexis.
And
It's
so
an
it
honor.
is. Hope!
Hope.
Thank you for watching. If you're interested in the Clear to the Core process, contact me at alexissummerfield.com.